All right, all right, all right. Let's get going. Let's get going. Welcome, 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 everyone. Let me get all my screens set up and I will be with you in 1 second. Let's get this started. Uh, all right, let's go. All right, there we go. There we go. Now we're cooking. All right, guys, welcome to this week's live. Welcome to the training. My name is Art. I will be working with you and showing you everything. We'll be getting this going in just a second. If you are new here, just say in the chat, say hello. Let me know what part of the country you are in, where you're from, and we'll kind of get to it. All right, let's get to it. Let's get to it. All right, all right, all right. So tonight we are going to be talking about, let's see, turning 2,500 into 30,000 in the next 60 to 90 days with quick turn real estate. So how many of you guys have real estate experience? Let's start there. What part of the country you're in? What kind of real estate experience do you have? And we'll kind of get to it from there. I am Art. I've been doing real estate for 20 plus years with my wife, Aisha. She's not on the call tonight, but she usually works with me all the time. Drew from Erie in Virginia, Rosetta, in Connecticut. How are you, Rosetta? Antoinette in New Orleans. Good to see you all. I'm glad you guys made it. All right, we should have a very interesting call tonight. We're going to go over some very good things and hopefully help you guys make some money. So, do you all have any real estate experience? I always like to know what kind of real estate experience does anybody have when they get into these calls. Ever done a deal before? And if you haven't, that's fine. No real estate experience. All right, this is going to be for you and it's going to help you. We're going to get into it in just a second. I'm going to give everybody about 30 more seconds before I jump on and get started. Now, in this call, I'm going to go over all the kind of questions that I'm going to go through a kind of a presentation. And then when I finish the presentation, if you've got questions, you can ask me. Antoinette says she's done Airbnb. I haven't done a lot of Airbnb. I don't have any problem with it, but it seems like it's a lot of work, and I've heard some horror stories. It seems like it's more work than I want to do. I'll say that. I'm not going to say it's anything, but hopefully what we will show you tonight might open you up to some other options, and we'll get going. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. If you have questions, just put it in the chat. I'll be happy to answer your questions, and then we'll kind of get into it. And as long as they're on point, then I'll answer them while we're talking. If not, I'll answer them at the end. All right, so turning 2,500 into 30,000 in the next 60 to 90 days with quick turn real estate, and this is without wholesaling or dealing with tenants. So let's get into it. All right. So first of all, let's go over what we will discuss tonight, what we're going to be bringing up. I am going to be talking to you about how you can structure deals like McDonald's. McDonald's is a multi-billion-dollar company, and I'm going to show you how you, starting off, yes, you can structure your deals the same way they structure their business to be in the DMV. I got family in the DMV, so they're very nice. No real estate experience. So we're going to show you how to structure deals like McDonald's, and it's a way that really makes a lot of sense, and you'll get it as we go through this. We're going to talk about why you shouldn't look for motivated sellers. How many of you all, let me know in the chat, give me a thumbs up if that's how you have been taught to look for deals. You've been told, look for motivated sellers. They will take care of everything. I am the first one to tell you that motivated sellers should not be what you look for. Motivation is a feeling. It's like telling you to look for all the happy people. And that's going to be really hard because people change their experience and their emotions all the time. We're going to talk about why wholesaling leaves your money for the next person. Nothing wrong with wholesaling. I started off as I didn't start off, but I did wholesaling for a couple of years, made money. My famous wholesale story is that I did a wholesale deal. I made $40,000, and I did exactly what you should do when you make $40,000 on a deal, and it's very fast. I took my family to Disney World and spent almost all of it. And I say that to say that you need a consistent business, not just a make a check business, if that makes sense. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about why speed is your biggest factors for success. Speed is going to solve a lot of your problems, and we'll get into that in a little bit. And you'll see why speed, which is what a lot of people don't talk about, is actually the thing that will benefit you the most. Okay. And then we're going to talk about how to generate 30,000 plus. Now, the original title of this was $30,000 to $100,000 in the next 90 days, even with no experience. Now, the reason I kind of dumbed it down from there is because when people get on and see what I'm talking about in the process of how we work, it doesn't seem believable in the beginning, but I'm going to give you an example of one of my students who did 6 figures on her first deal. She did it it took her a total of 4 months, but she did 6 figures in our first deal. And I'm going to show you how that looks. Okay. So are you ready to get into this? Give me a thumbs up. Can everybody hear me and see me? Just give me a thumbs up, letting me know that I'm okay, because I'm working on 2 different screens and I'm not used to doing it the way I'm doing it. I usually do these every Monday, but this one is a little bit different. So just give me a thumbs up or a yes, we can see, we're ready to go, and I'll get into it in the chat so I know that we're good to go. Thank you, Internet. So I needed to see somebody to know that you see my screens and everything else. All right, so here's the first thing. The problem isn't finding deals. Now, I know some of you, especially if you've tried real estate, you're going to say that's where you failed. You weren't able to find deals. It's what you actually do with the deals that matter. It's not finding the deals that makes a difference. Most investors see the same deals. You're not the first person to see this property. You're not the first person this person is called or talked to. They're reaching out to anybody who seems like they can help them. They get very different results, different investors, depending on their strategy. And the structure of their deal is what actually helps them either make a lot of money or make some money, but leave a lot of money on the table. So we're going to talk about that structure and what that looks like. And I want you to pay close attention to this, especially if you have no real estate experience, because the stuff I talk about, I guarantee you no one else in any platform, in any training is talking about it the way I am. Because what we're going to show you, I'm going to share with you all a tool today that you can use, and it's going to help you. So just pay attention, follow along. If it doesn't make sense, just ask questions. But I promise you, you've never seen anything like this, okay? That's what we're going to fix tonight. We're going to fix your structure on how to make good money in real estate. And when we fix it, it's going to be so simple to you. You're going to say, I don't know why I didn't think of that, but it's going to make sense. And I'm going to show you how you can do this starting today. And I don't care if you have a lot of money, if you don't have a lot of money, I'm going to show you how you can get started with this today. Okay. All right. The people winning right now in real estate. How many of you all are scared about the economy? You're thinking that, oh my goodness, I don't know what's going to happen with the president. I don't know what's going to happen with this, that, and the other. I'm worried about the economy. What I'm going to explain to you is not going to be dependent on what's going on with interest rates or what's going on with any of that stuff. You will still be able to make money in this. I have made money. I made money doing this process in 2008. Does anybody remember what 2008 was like for real estate? It was not pleasant. It was a whole thing going on in 2008. Real estate values were dropping and plummeting like crazy. All the banks were messing up. It was just a whole bunch going on. And I was still able to make very good money doing this. In fact, this is all I've done. Me and my wife, Aisha, this is all we've done for the last 20 plus years. We've only done real estate. We haven't had outside jobs. We haven't had anything other than doing this process. We started off as landlords. We bought a bunch of rental property. We hated it. We got rid of all the rental property. We tried wholesaling. We tried fix and flip, and we made a little bit of money, but it wasn't until we got this process together and we've just consistently refined this process to make more and more money. So I'm going to show it to you. You don't need more deals. You need faster deals. I know everybody tells you get rental property or get Airbnbs or get all this other stuff and hold it. I am going to show you a different process and explain to you why this process, in my opinion, is the best way to do real estate, especially if you're new, especially if you just, why are we here? If your goal is my goal whenever I do real estate is to get the check. That is my goal. My goal is not to own a lot of property. My goal is not to be the landlord. My goal is not to say I got all these tenants. My goal is to get the check. If that is your goal, give me a thumbs up. Let me know that that's your goal. And then we can talk further, because if your goal isn't to get the check, I can't help you. If your goal is to just, I want to own real estate because I think it's cool, this is not for you. This is to get the check. Okay, so let's move on. All right, so 2 investors can buy the same property. You can literally have 2 people looking at the same property and you don't know what's going to happen. One makes $10,000 on a wholesale. They're going to buy that property. They're going to put it under contract. They're going to sell it to an investor that's going to buy it and pay them $10,000. And boom, bam, they're out of there and they made $10,000. And for them, that's a win. The other investor is going to make $50,000 on the exact same house, not doing more work, doing less work, and doesn't have to sell to an investor and is going to make a bigger check. Exact same house. And the house doesn't have to be falling apart. It doesn't have to be, one of these places where you're scared to walk in, the kitchen floor is going to collapse. It's the same deal. It's literally the same deal, but the way they structured them is fundamentally different. Okay. So what's the difference? That's what everybody's wondering. What's the difference? Before I get to that, Why money feels slow in real estate. How many of you all have ever closed a real estate deal? Was it a fast process? Was it something that you did and it just made sense? And oh my goodness, the money came so fast. No, real estate in general is not a very fast process. Capital, your money that you're investing or that you're putting up or that you're borrowing, which is even worse, is locked into deals. So it's locked into deals where you can't get access to that money again to use it. That slows you down. You wait months or years for a return. So if you're renting it out or doing something like that, you're putting your money in and in hopes that years later you will be able to get that money out. I don't care if you do the BRRRR method, even doing the BRRRR method, the buy, rehab, rent, refinance, and repeat method. How many of you all are familiar with that? Even if you're doing that, you got to wait months for your money because you're going to buy it, put money in, you're going to put money into buying it, you're going to put money into rehabbing it, you're going to rent it out. It's going to take time to rent it out. You're going to turn around and refinance it, which it takes time to do the refinance. And then you're going to repeat the process. All of that stuff takes time. And I'm going to tell you a secret that a lot of people won't share about the BRRRR method. Sometimes you get burned in the BRRRR method when interest rates go up or when the market value goes down between the time that you bought it and the time that you finish the rehab. You can get stuck. The process that I'm going to lay out for you today, you will not get stuck with the property unless you do something crazy. Okay. So that's usually what happens. You have to wait months or years for a return. You're forced into one deal at a time. So you can't do another deal because all your money is tied up in this deal and you have to just finish this deal. Then you can do the next one. I don't care how good you are, how fast you are. That is a slow process to build up any money, especially if you're trying to replace your income. How many of you all would like to replace your job income or retire and know that you can make money consistently and still be able to travel and still be able to go out? That's what you're risking when you do these kind of strategies, when you do the deals where you have all your money tied into it and you can't go anywhere else. Okay. Growth feels capped. You are capped. You cannot do more than what you wanted to do because you're stuck behind that deal. So that's a big thing. There is a better way to turn a profit in real estate. Good. I'm glad you all like it. I'm going to show you what you can do differently. So here's what high level investors do differently. Now, these are people that are not like me and you. They're very high level investors. They invest in large scale commercial. They invest literally in apartment complexes, buildings, large scale commercial buildings. This is what they do differently. They focus on the deal structure. They focus on how they put together the deal. The property doesn't matter. Most of those investors never even see the property. They get a report and they move on. They're looking for the structure. They're not just buying and holding. That's not the plan. They're not just flipping the property. They are engineering outcomes. They're making the outcome what they want. They're putting it together so that they're going to get their money out and some profit and continue to get money out of the deal. We are going to explain how you can engineer deals just like this for yourself. Okay. So stay with me. I know it's like, get to it, Art, but trust me, I want you to understand what I'm showing you and why this is important. Okay. We create deals that make more money with less work. Okay. So we're going to show you how to make more money with less work. All right. Follow along. It's not about doing more deals. It's about better deals. It's about putting together better deals for yourself. Same effort. You're not going to be doing more work. Same market. I am under the belief that you should be able to do all the deals you want to do in a 50-mile radius of your house. How many of you all have thought about doing wholesaling or any kind of real estate and the idea of investing all over the country scares you? You live in Texas and you're going to buy something in Florida, or you live in California, you're going to buy something in New York. That can scare you, especially if you have not done this before. That can scare you. This process that I'm going to lay out, you can do the entire thing from your home area in your market. Okay. So that's a real fear that people have to deal with. You're going to get better results. You're going to make more money from the deals that you do without doing more deals. That's the opportunity. That's what you're missing out on. And I'm going to explain how that works. You don't have to take on more debt. You don't have to deal with tenants, and you can still make very nice profits. Okay. Now, follow along for this process. What a properly structured deal can do for you. Let's talk about that. It can produce multiple profit opportunities. How would you like to get paid when you sell the property and consistently getting paid after you sold the property? How does that sound? You can return your capital faster. Instead of waiting months for your capital to come back, How would you like it if I showed you how not only to do the deal without putting up a lot of money, but when you do put up money, and you will sometimes put up money, you can get your money back usually in about 2 weeks. So you can put your money to work usually in about 2 weeks from when you started. Okay. You can reduce long-term risk. How many of you all are worried about what if the market turns? What if we have another 2008? I'm going to show you how you can almost eliminate that long-term risk. And you can increase deal velocity. Deal velocity is how you really make money, because the more deals you can do in a shorter period of time, the more money you can make. You don't have to do them. You do them faster, but you don't have to stay in them as long. Okay. So deal velocity is how you're going to make your real money. Imagine making a big check and getting monthly cash flow from the same deal, and you didn't take on any debt to do it, or you didn't take on more debt, or you don't have any long-term debt to do it. Does that sound like something that would interest you, that would give you the structure? So as long as you're steadily going out buying and selling property, you're going to continue to make not just lump sums of cash, but also cash flow. Okay. Traditional investing versus structured deals. I'm almost finished with this structured thing because I know you want to hear it. Traditional takes months to years. That's one of the big things, depending on how long you're going to keep the property. Structured takes weeks to maybe a month or two at the longest. That's the long term for us. Traditional, your capital is locked up. Structured, your capital is constantly recycled. So you get let's say you put some money in, you take that money out on your first deal, and then you can use the profits to continue to grow your business, if that makes sense. Okay. Even compared to wholesale, this is better because you keep control. If we've got any wholesalers in here, I'm sure you know, because I experienced it when I was a wholesaler, where the deal can fall apart and you did nothing wrong. The seller can go behind your back and try to find your buyer. They can find another buyer and try to cut and get out of your deal. All kinds of stuff can go wrong. When you control the deal and you structured it correctly, there is no going behind your back because you own it. I compare this to McDonald's. McDonald's is a multi-billion-dollar company. Are they a multi-billion-dollar company just selling cheeseburgers? The answer is no. The one thing they do very well is they control their entire process. They control the potato when it is in the ground. They control the dirt that it is growing in. They control the truck that drives the potato to the store. They control the potato in the store. That potato is owned and controlled by them until it hits your plate and you got a large upsize and then you got a large size with that. They control the entire deal. The more that you control, the more profit you will make. That's what makes this fundamentally different from wholesaling, and it makes it a better process. Imagine selling a property in a day at market value. Let me say that again so you can understand what I'm saying. Imagine selling a property in a day at market value. So in other words, the moment you put it on the market, it's picked up and it's sold at market value. You get paid off, and then you can go on with your day, and that property is gone. It eliminates holding costs. It eliminates you having to sit on the property and hope somebody comes to see it. It eliminates you having to do a bunch of showings for the property. Does that sound like something that would help you make more money? And like I said, I'm sure you haven't heard this anywhere else. Okay. So let's talk about this. Instead of this, buy, hold, and wait, or buy, rehab, and sell, you can do this. You can buy it right, and then you can structure it right, and then you can exit strategically. Now, what do I mean by exit strategically? What I mean by that is you're going to sell the majority of the property. When you're ready, you're going to sell. When you buy the property and you know what you have, you're going to sell the majority of the property, and then you're going to keep a small piece of it for yourself. You decide how much of that you want to keep, and then that part is going to pay you a part of that rental income that property makes for years and years and years. Now, you're not going to go get debt for that part. You're not going to have to care. In fact, all the debt is going to be paid off once you do this process. All the debt on the property is going to be paid off. The profits that you were going to get, let's say you were going to make $40,000. You might keep $10,000 in the property so you can continue to get cash flow and take $30,000 in cash. What would that do for you? So now you've got a small cash flow coming in every month, maybe a couple of $100s, but then you've got the 30,000 cash, and now you can go do the next deal, and you've gotten all of your money out, and you don't have to manage tenants. You don't have to deal with it. So that's what we teach. I'm going to give you a case study. This is one of our students, Yolanda. Yolanda did her first deal, and she made $134,000 on her first deal. Now, for those of you that don't know, Yolanda was a realtor. She just had no personal investing experience. She had never invested in property, never did anything with actually owning property. She had just helped people buy and sell. It was kind of a side job for her until she learned our process. She followed the process that we're laying out for her, that we're laying out for you all. She structured the deal properly, and she closed within 90 days. So this from her buying it to closing it took about 90 days, and she did $134,000. Let me give you another example. Kyra. Kyra's a hairdresser. She made $50,000 on her first deal. This was her first one. She's a hairdresser. She had no experience buying real estate for investment. She had tried it. She wanted out of her day-to-day grind. She said, look, I'm tired of standing up on my feet all day and doing hair. I want to have options. She's still a hairdresser, but now she has options. She can choose to be a hairdresser versus having to be a hairdresser, because now she has a consistent way to make increasing cash flow. Okay. She followed the system. She paid off all of her debt from one deal. So all the debt that she had, she was able to knock out with one deal. What would that be like for you to finish your first deal and knock out all of your personal debt and then be free? That would free up cash for you. That would allow you to go do more things, and it would allow you to do more deals. Okay. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay. What made this work? What made this work for them? It wasn't luck. They followed a structured system. I'm going to tell you the structured system in just a second. They didn't guess through deals. That is very important. A lot of people guess through deals. So let me explain. Let me stop here, and I want to explain this to you. Here's what happens with a lot of investors. They watch YouTube or they get into a program, and the program says, we'll show you how to buy houses. And they tell them 600 ways. I'm telling you, Trinita, she said, I need to know what she did. They give you a bunch of ways on YouTube, or when you sign up with the program, they tell you 16 different ways you can buy properties, 16 ways you can sell them. You don't need all of that. That actually confuses you because you don't know what's good, what's bad, what you should do. You need one process. You need one way. Our process is 4 steps. Number 1, we show you how to build a marketing funnel. How to build a marketing funnel that will get people calling you to sell you their house. Okay. They are going to call you. That's why this makes a difference. That's the first thing you're going to get. So once you get that done, then the next thing is we're going to show you how to negotiate deals where you don't have to go see the property. You can do the entire negotiation at home. You can sit at your desk and negotiate the deal. Then we're going to show you how to finance the deal. I'm not going to show you 16 ways to finance property. I'm going to show you 3 ways that you can finance property. 2 of them matter about your credit. You don't have to have the best credit in the world, but you do need to have some credit. And if you don't have the best credit in the world, or you don't have some credit, you can use the 3rd way. And once you do the 3rd way and close a deal, then you can get to a larger deal. Okay. So Trinita, you're close. You're very close. I'm going to show you. So the first 2 ways are lenders. One of them is a commercial lender that does like a line of credit. It's not exactly a line of credit, but it works very much like it. The second one is a lender that does 100% financing. That one might work for most people. If not, I'm going to show you the way we set up owner financing with deals, and it works like a charm. If you follow this process, you will typically get a deal at 0% interest with no payments for the life of the loan. Can you make that work for you? And it doesn't matter about your credit. You can do this, no payments for the life of the loan and 0% interest on the loan. That's how I can show you how to set up owner financing. Other than those 3 ways, we don't need to close the deal. We can get a deal closed in almost every scenario with just those 3 ways. You don't need options. Let me say that again. You don't need options. What you actually need is a strategy with a plan. Okay. And then the last part, we're going to show you how to exit the deal. So we showed you how to find the deals, get them coming to you. We're going to show you how to negotiate the deals in a very simple way. If you can talk on the phone, then you can do it. I'm not going to have you running all over town trying to meet up with sellers. We're going to show you how to finance the deal in a very clear-cut path. You're going to do it with confidence, and you're going to talk to a seller, and you're going to be amazed. That's how Yolanda did her deal. She set up owner financing with her deal. She was able, in fact, let me give you a little bit more background on Yolanda, and excuse me if I go off topic a little bit. Yolanda, when she started with us, she was a contract worker for the government. That was her primary job, and she was a realtor on the side. Right after she signed up with us, her contract ended with her contract work unexpectedly. It ended. And when it ended, she was like, what do? I said, follow the process. Just stay with it. And she did. And a couple of weeks later, she was worried about what's going to happen. She got her first deal, and it was actually 3 condos. A guy called her. It was a landlord that did not want them anymore. He was tired of being a landlord. He had 3 condos. She bought 3 condos from this guy for less than half of what they were worth. I want to say, and I don't remember, but I want to say her price was $60,000 a condo. They were worth $130 each. They were worth $130. She was able to put together a deal with owner financing. She did not have to come out of any money out of her own pocket. She closed 2 of them and sold them for a $40,000 profit right away. The third one she kept, paid it off with the $80,000 she made, and then she sold that one for $134,000 profit. It's not magic. It's just putting together a structured deal. Okay. So that's how this works. All right. And you're going to be like, all right, well, I don't know if that will work for me. And what if mine doesn't come that way? We will work together to put you in position to do this deal. So I want you to understand it's not about you. It's actually about the process and the deal you put together. I'm going to show you how to put together a good deal. Okay. The other thing they had was support. You can't do this on your own. I don't want to say that. I don't want to say, because you can do it on your own. But at the same time, why go figure out a new wheel when you can just look at the other person who's done it and then say, hey, show me how to do your wheel the same way. You do not have to reinvent the wheel with this. In fact, you shouldn't. I spent 20 something years reinventing the wheel when I should have just followed people that were doing it already. They weren't doing exactly what we're doing, but it was a process, if that makes sense. Okay. So what I say is that get support because it cannot hurt you. It'll move you faster. How much support does it take for you to miss one mistake? If you miss one mistake, a lot of times that support is paid for itself. They execute it step by step. I cannot stress this enough. I know you want to do it your way because you saw something online that really resonated with you. Don't do that, because when you get into another process in the middle of one process, you're going to screw both of them up. Just follow the system and you will make really good money. Okay. They stopped watching videos. This is the most important thing. And they took action. Now, a lot of you are going to say, but Art, I love watching these videos. They're free. I can just get on here and watch them. And I feel like I've accomplished something. I don't want you to feel like you've accomplished something. I hold everybody that works with us, I hold them kind of accountable. I am not a mean person, but I am a realistic person. Your goal is to get to the check, not to feel good. It's to get to the check. We can feel good after we got the check. When we go on vacation, we can feel good. Let's get the check first. Okay. Why most people get these results? Number one, they don't have a clear system. They don't get these results. They don't have a clear system. They're trying 16 different ways. They have no deal flow strategy. They don't know how to get deals coming to them consistently. No funding strategy. They'll figure it out one day. That doesn't work. You have to have a funding strategy. And no guidance. You're going to make all the mistakes trying it on your own, and you get no points for doing it on your own and making all these mistakes. We will show you how to get all the pieces you need so that you can do it right the first time. Okay. If you want better deals, you need a better process. No more information. Stop being an information collector. No more YouTube. Not more YouTube. That is not the answer. That is not what we want. We don't want more YouTube. No more guessing. Okay. You don't need to guess with this all the time. You need a system, support, and execution. If you have those 3, you will be successful with this. Okay. So that's exactly why we created Find and Fund. And I'm going to stick with me with this because this is not what you think, but trust me, it will help you. Learn to find and fund and close your first deal. That is the goal with this. It is not to teach you how to be rental property owners. It is not to teach you to be, I want to do all this other crazy stuff. I want to get funding and Airbnb and you can do all of that after you get the check. I have no problem with, and please don't think I'm picking on Airbnb or any of that other stuff. You need to build up a war chest of cash. Once you build up a war chest of cash, you can then decide what makes sense for you to go from there. But once you got the cash, you have the decisions. Okay. You're going to do this without wholesaling. So you're going to control your deals. You're going to do this without rehabbing. I don't care if you've never picked up a hammer. You don't need to with what I'm showing you. You're going to do this without tenants. The only time we deal with tenants is when we inherit a tenant from a property. And I'm going to show you how to deal with them quickly and swiftly so you don't have problems. Now, let's talk about what you get when you join Find and Fund. Number one, you get our Quick Turn Launch Masterclass. The goal of this class is to give you step-by-step instructions on what to do today. starting now, not what you need to do in 6 months, not what you need to do once you get a good attitude, once you feel positive, what to do today, immediately. Literally go to this website, do this, put this in, get this information, and start your process. Okay. That's the Quick Turn Launch Program. Next, you're going to get our 10-day deal finding system. This is a process that you can set up, and within 10 days, you can be set up for sellers calling you or talking to you directly. Not realtors, not wholesalers, the actual seller, the person that owns the house, they will be talking to you. We're going to show you how to build that system, and it's a very good system because it's going to be unique to your area. Remember, I told you only need to be within 50 miles of your house. This is going to show you how to get that custom information for your area. Next, you're going to get our negotiation and exit framework. This is how you negotiate owner financing. This is how you negotiate to get the best price on properties. We typically get properties at 60 cents on the dollar or better. Okay. Now stick around because I know what you're thinking. Well, how much does all this cost? Stick with me. Trust me. Okay. Then you're going to get, that's our negotiation framework. We're going to show you exactly what to say and how to negotiate it. Then you're going to get our deal management system. Our deal management system is going to make it so that when people are calling you and talking to you, you can get everything you need from them, and you can actually talk to them and know what to say. And you'll be able to look up and say, oh, this is Mr. Johnson. I talked to him 2 weeks ago. This is what he said. And you'll be able to know. It makes you seem professional. We're going to show you how to do all of that. And all of that is included, everything that you need. Okay. So that's the process. That's the stuff we give you. Plus, we're going to show you how to work with the lenders and everything else. You also get weekly live support calls. So on the weekly calls, you can get on the call. It's very much informal. You can talk to me about the deal you're working on. You can talk to me where you got stuck, and we will have an honest conversation. Art, I didn't get to do anything this week. Why not? Let's get to it. Let's get out. You'll get that accountability that you need. This is so you can be successful. Okay. Now, as a bonus, I'm going to give you these next few things. We do not offer these in our program, but I'm going to put these in because I want to see you all be successful. Number one, I'm going to give you our training on unlimited private lender banking. Okay. This is unlimited private lender banking training. So yeah, this is Trinita. Just stay with me. Just watch. This is our unlimited private lender banking. This is going to make it so how would you like it if you had a list of people that you could go to and you could get deal money without having to go through a bank? It does not matter about your credit. It doesn't matter about what money you're not putting money down, and you're going to get to be able to pick the interest rate with them. I'm going to show you how to build that list and how to get those people and give you an unlimited source where those people are at. You're going to get our advanced deal structuring, where we're going to show you how to put together deals to do owner financing. Not only to do owner financing, but do it in a way where the owner wants to do the owner financing. I've had owners say, I want to do it that way, and put together a deal with 0% interest and no payments. Okay. Follow along. We're going to give you our vendor and service discounts. We do about $50,000 in marketing and vendor work every month for our business. We get really nice discounts from our vendors. If you're working with us, we're going to make sure you get the same pricing that we do. You're not going to pay extra or pay higher pricing because you're smaller. You're going to be able to get the exact same pricing working through us and get our vendor discounts, which is going to save you quite a bit of money. You're also going to get tonight only a one-on-one strategy call with me. So everybody that signs up, you will get a one-on-one strategy call. I will show you exactly where we'll talk about where you're at. We'll talk about what you need, what you don't have, and we'll tell you how to overcome it. I don't want you to feel that you've got something stopping you from being successful with this. You can be successful with this. It doesn't matter. Okay. So we'll get on that call and we'll walk through your specific situation. Now, tonight only, our full Find and Fund community, total value on this would be about $12,000, because we've had programs similar to this. $12,000 would be the normal process. Real world application is what you're going to be doing. This is real world stuff, step-by-step system on how to do everything from start to finish, and ongoing support so that when you get stuck, somebody's actually there for you. I've seen similar programs, and we've had programs like this at one point that were $6,000 or better. Okay. This is the full program. Tonight only, $29.99, but if you apply before this call ends, you will get it for $24.99. And let me give you one more step with this. 30 spots are available. And again, the one-on-one call with me is included in this. Now, there's one more thing I want to give you, because this is the big thing. Because a lot of you are going to say, well, Art, I don't know if I can do that. For tonight only, Instead of the $29.99, we got 30 spots available, one-on-one calling included. Apply before this call ends for tonight, and you will get, well, let me pull it up so you can see it. That'll help. You will be able to get $24.99, but because you're going to say a but, I don't have the money. Financing is available. I'm going to show you how to get financing. I'm going to give you the link. You can go into the link, and there's a button that says other payment options. You can use Klarna or Afterpay. It costs you nothing up front. It does not check your credit. It's just going to finance you, and it's going to make it very affordable for you. And here's the thing. Normally, a Klarna or Afterpay charges a financing fee. We've lowered the price for tonight so that we've absorbed the financing fee. So the $24.99 will be what you pay so that it absorbs the financing fee. So you're getting the best pricing with zero financing. No interest at tonight's price, okay? You're investing in your first deal because this is what it's going to take to get you to your first deal, and we're going to show you. And let me ask you this. If you're thinking, I don't know if I want to make this investment, how much would it take for you to make on this deal for it to be worth it? If you do one deal, our average profit on a deal is about $30,000, $35,000. It only takes one deal for you to be out of your pocket and into your profit, growing your business. Now, if you're saying I need to think about it, the opportunity is time sensitive. So this is something that we're offering tonight to get you started, and we're going to give it to you where you can do 0% financing. Deals don't wait. Now, if you are interested, I'm going to put the link. If you give me 1 second, I'm going to put the link in the chat because some people can see it already, because depending on how you're watching this, some of you all cannot see it. These deals won't wait. And we're in the springtime now. I'm telling you, you want to get in on this before it gets late in the summer and all that. Not that there aren't deals to be done, but at the same time, you will be able to get these deals started and actually see some motion and actually close some deals. This will be a great way to spend your summer, closing the deal, making a consistent profit. And that's what you'll be able to see with this. Okay. Now, some of you are going to say, I'm going to put this link. I'm going to put the link in the chat right now. So that is the link to sign up. You can do it. And there's an other pay options or pay another way that you can click on, and you can see the Klarna and you can apply. It does not affect your credit. It does not affect anything. And you can apply, and you can do that while we're on this call. If you're going to say, I don't have time, Art, with my job, the way I work, I don't have time for this. This is not adding work. This is not adding work for you. This is a set up a system, and then the calls will come to you. The only work you're going to do once you set this up is you need to answer the phone. And if you're at work when the phone rings, you're going to go in and answer the phone and call them back when you get off work. If you can do that, you can close these deals. It's replacing inefficiency, and it's no cold calling. You are not going to be on the phone cold calling 600 people. Okay. If you're serious about doing this, your first deal, go to the link in the chat. I've just put it in the chat. I'll put it in there again. This is the link, and you can choose your payment options and choose how you want to pay. Like I said, you can choose to do it all now. You can choose to do it over time, and you're going to get the bonuses with the where you get the private lender program. You're going to get all of that in your process, and you can secure your spot. Okay. All right, guys, that is our program. That is our presentation. Now, let me ask you this, because I always like to ask, do you have any questions about this? Does this make sense to you? Do you see that you could benefit from this? Because there's one piece that I didn't tell you about, and that's the piece of how we sell the properties. Once you're in the program, I'm going to explain to you about a program we use called Land Trust X. Land Trust X allows you to sell the property immediately when you do it the right way, following what I'm going to lay out for you. Okay. If that interests you, if that's something that you think would benefit you, then you can sign up, and we'll show you how to use Land Trust X with this and sell your properties immediately. You'll be able to sell them at market value. Okay. This is a great program. I have people that have been very successful with it. Like I said, Yolanda, Kyra, a lot of people have been successful with this process. And this is a way to start with no money up front, no money down. You can get into the program. It's not going to check your credit. And we will not only get you to a deal, we'll help you get financing. We'll help you close the deal out and get you to your first check. Okay. And then you can decide to build this into a business. Now, I will tell you this, what some of our students have done is that they go in and they go an additional step, and they work with us in commercial real estate, because that's one of the questions that comes up. Art, if you're doing this and you're doing so much and it's making so much money, why are you coaching and teaching it? I do it for one main reason. When we started this, the way we started coaching, actually, My wife had a friend that came to her and asked if we would show her how to do real estate the way we did it. And I was completely against it. I said, why would I show anybody to be my competition? That doesn't make sense to me. And my wife said, well, you should try it. You never know what you're going to get from it. It might be beneficial. And so she made a big push for us to try it. And I said, okay, I'll try it. And it was actually fun. She made some money. It was nice seeing her do a deal and seeing her all excited and everything to do a deal. The bigger thing was a couple of weeks later, after she closed her deal and she made a check, we were working on a commercial deal. So we invest in commercial, and we do strip malls, mobile home parks, and self-storage units. And so we were trying to close a deal, and we were short on all the cash that we needed for the deal. And we went to her friend, and her friend said, hey, well, I trust you all. You did this deal with me. I'll put up some of the money. And she used some of her profits to actually put up and go into the commercial deal with us. And this became very valuable to us. And I said, wouldn't this be a great process if we show people how to make money buying and selling the houses quickly, and then they can decide if they want to go into it with us in commercial real estate? And so that's what we do. We give you the option to get into commercial real estate if you want to move up to that. If you don't, if you want to stick with houses, that's fine too. But we love commercial real estate because it lets us offset taxes. It lets us continue to build our business. And it's a great tool to use with this. Okay. Do you all have any questions on this process, or any questions of what we're doing, or any questions about it? Like I said, this is a very simple process. If you sign up tonight and you are part of the people that sign up tonight, you will get access to a one-on-one call with me. We'll look at your situation. I'll tell you how to get started right away. I'll tell you what pieces you should start on right away based on where you're at, and we'll get you going. This is not complicated where it's something that you're going to take up or you got to quit your job to do it. I will say this. You will have the decision of if you want to keep your job once you start making money in real estate, because you'll be able to amass more money and have more free time. So that's one of the benefits. I don't run another job outside of running my real estate business. I enjoy my real estate business. It's taking care of my wife and my kids. I've got 4 kids, put them all through college. Well, 3 through college. 1 is about to go into college. And we've been able to do all that without debts. So it's beneficial to run this kind of business. Even if you keep your job, it's something that will give you excess cash that you can use to grow and do whatever else you want to do. Okay. So that is how this works. That is this process. I put the link in. Like I said, you can do the finance with no money down, with no credit check, and you can put together the program, and it's pretty straightforward. Okay. If this interests you, then sign up tonight. Like I said, you'll get the one-on-one call, and you'll get our private lender process, how we do private lenders. You'll get to see how we do our negotiation process. You'll get some negotiation, but then we'll show you how specifically to do the negotiation, because once you get owner financing, there's a way to turn that owner financing into some other things. And I'm going to show you that process, and it's very smooth and it works really well. Okay. All right. So no problem, Trinita. If that's the case, then use the link, and then over at the right side, I see what you're saying. Use the link, and over on the right side, it'll say other payment options. You can apply, and it's not credit based. As long as you've got income, there's a very strong chance that you'll get approved. They're pretty straightforward. So do you see that? Did you click on the link and try it, Trinita? Because that'll let you make sure you get on while we're on this call. I want to make sure everybody can get started today if they want to get started today. Okay, we'll try. Hard to get and don't want to mess it up. We'll try. Okay, I'll send you the link. Also, I'll put you in. We're going to send a replay of this out for everybody tomorrow. So everybody on this call, you registered on this call. We want to get you signed up tonight, because that's when you get the one-on-one call. So if we get you tonight, then we get you on there tonight, then you will get the one-on-one call. We'll get you all started. This is a very straightforward process. It's going to, once you start in this process, it's not going to take a ton of work. If you're comfortable working on a computer, if you can get on a website and you can write stuff down, then you will be able to do this process. It's not going to require you to have any special skills. Once you're putting together the financing, I'm going to show you how to easily put together the financing. And once you get the financing in place, you will be able to close your deals and talk to people with confidence, because you know that the deal can be closed. Okay. It's not, Drew said, I'm here like you said I was, you know where I stand. Drew, I got you. I understand. So this whole thing is to get you started, to get you going. You can start with no money down up front. The link is in the chat for all of you that are looking for it. You can sign up Like I said, it's no credit check. Once you get signed up, you can start tonight. If you want to start tonight, you can set it up and start in the morning. It's up to you, but it is beneficial to you. Okay. If you came in late and you did not get all of this call, then I will send you a replay tomorrow. We will be sending out a replay tomorrow. So you'll be able to get it. You just won't get the extra bonus tomorrow. You'll get all the stuff with the private lender and everything else. You just going to get the one-on-one call because we're going to probably fill up tonight with people that do the one-on-one call. All right. So if you have any questions for me, you can always ask. I'll stay on for a few more minutes. I'll explain any questions for me on the process, the 4 steps that you have to learn: how to build a marketing funnel, how to negotiate deals, how to finance those deals, and how to exit those deals quickly. I talked a little bit about Land Trust X. If you all want to hear about that, I'll tell you about Land Trust X. It's a way to sell the property at market value very quickly. So you can do that, and that'll let you get rid of the property quickly, so you're not going to hold things. See, here's the thing a lot of people don't realize. When you know you have an exit and a strong way to exit right away, then all that market fluctuation, which, like, the market's going down, interest rates went up, that stuff doesn't happen overnight. That stuff happens over a couple of months. You're going to be buying these properties and selling them quickly. You're going to own the property and control it, and then you're going to sell it quickly. And when you do it that way, it's going to open you up to do a lot more. It's going to give you a lot of options. One, you don't have to worry about market fluctuations. That's huge. Not worrying about if it's going to sell today or if it's going to sell tomorrow. That's huge. 2, it will allow you to build up your money very quickly because you're going to get your cash back very quickly, or whatever you put in, you're going to get that back if anything, or even if you borrowed money, you're not going to carry a bunch of debt so that you can do deals. Okay. This is the way you want to do real estate. This is the way you want to get started. You do not want to start with rental property. I started with rental property. Me and Aisha started, and we bought 36 properties in 3 years. We bought we didn't buy 12 a year, but by the end of 3 years, we ended up with 36 properties. And it was a pain in the butt. It was a pain in the butt, being honest. We made some money. I'm not going to say we didn't make money, but it was just dealing with 36 different tenants and dealing with 36 different properties and all the stuff that went along with it. It was a lot. We got out of that. We went to wholesaling, and wholesaling was great, except for the fact that the deals kept falling apart. People kept cutting out of the deal and walking away, all this kind of stuff. That we got out of that. We tried fix and flip. Fix and flip was okay, except we had to deal with the contractors and them giving us excuses and fighting us and going back and forth. And that was the whole thing. Got out of that. Quick turn and this process of buying and quickly selling. The business is actually in negotiating and talking with the right sellers, people that have equity. Once you do that, everything becomes so much easier. Everything becomes so much easier. All right. Are you guys signing up for this? Is this making sense to you? Did you click on the link and try to sign up? This is the process to get going, and I want you to get in if you're getting in, because after tonight, the bonus will go away. After tonight, you won't be able to get the private lenders. Well, you will be able to get the private lender stuff. You won't get the one-on-one call to get you started. And that one-on-one call is valuable because I'm going to reframe how you think. If you think you can do this, I'm going to reframe that literally in one phone call. I've dealt with people. Kyra is an excellent example. I gave Kyra's example earlier in the presentation. Kyra, when she started, she was nervous. She didn't think she could do it. She had every doubt that she could. And her husband, who owned the truck company, wanted her to focus on the truck company. That is until she made that $50,000 check. Once she made that $50,000 check, her husband got right on board. He was right there with her. He said, let's go ahead and do this. And they've been working on deals since. So it's going to feel a little bit scary sometimes, but that's why we have the accountability and we work with you, because I want you to get this and grow with it and make everything work. Okay. If that sounds like of his interest to you, then sign up. Like I said, you don't have to put anything down up front. If you do put something down, that's fine. You're still getting the discounted rate. Either way, you're not doing, what is it? You're saying, Trinity, you're saying it's not working. When you click on the link, what is it doing that it's not working? Do you see the link showing, it shows all your information that you got to sign up for and put in your name and everything. Do you see, if you scroll down some, it says other payment options? Slide. If I don't know if you're on a cell phone, sometimes you got to slide it over a little bit. It'll have a list of stuff. It'll have Afterpay, Klarna. It may have PayPal. Sometimes you got to slide it over. The other payment option. It's either you can slide it over or there's a little tab on the side and you click that and then it'll show you the other options, because it doesn't show all of them sometimes if you're on if you're on a cell phone. Okay. So that's usually what it'll be, like a little tab. So this is a great way to get started. Okay, on a desktop, then you should see it. It should be on a little tab. I can't pull it up because I got everything going on my desktop. But if you don't see it, let me know. But it should show up when you click on that little tab. You should see like Afterpay or Klarna and everything else. All right, so this is an excellent way for you to get started. It's not going to take a ton of money for you to get started in this. I'm going to be completely transparent with you guys. The goal with this is to get you to your first deal. Once you do a deal, you make you $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 on a deal. It's going to open you up to doing this more on a consistent level. Now, we have bigger programs that are on a consistent level, but I want to be clear. You don't need those programs to get your first deal done. Yes, you can email me. If you need to email me, just do it at, let me send you the email. I'm going to send you an email. If you want, I don't know if it's something going on with your situation, but if you need to, I can get somebody to help you if you're having trouble. But you can email to that email address. I just sent it to you. Okay. So the goal of this whole thing is you're okay. So yeah, email me and then we'll get somebody to help you. I'll make sure you get help. The goal of this whole thing is to get you to your first deal. You have to believe in your mind that this is possible for you. It's completely possible, but a lot of people don't take the action because they feel that something is stopping them. You might feel, I don't have the money to get financing. The best thing I can tell you, and I know you're going to be like, okay, but listen to what I'm telling you. Don't worry about it. When you get on the call, sign up tonight so that you can get on a call with me. I will literally walk you through exactly what you're going to do, and you will close a deal. Yolanda felt the same way. She felt that she didn't have the money to do a deal. She did her first deal. She made more than her annual salary on her first deal out the gate, her first deal. And it took her less than 4 months to do it. It's only impossible until you do it. And then once you do it, it's completely possible. Listen, I'm telling you from experience. When I started this, we started with $1,500 when we started our first deal, and we made $20,000 on that first deal. And it changed everything for me because I knew it was possible. And I believe at first, the first thing you believe is like, oh, that worked that one time. It'll never work again until you do it and it works again. And then you see, oh my goodness, this can do this consistently. And that's what we're going to show you. That's the process that we give you, how to do this consistently. So if you have not signed up, sign up now. This is, like I said, it's no money down up front. You can do the financing, click on Klarna or Afterpay under other payment options, and then you can sign up and then you can get this done. It is going to be one of the best decisions you make on how to start. So Rachel, I'll put the link right here and you can click on that and then you can do the other payment options that down there at the bottom. And normally it's $29.99, and with the new program it's $24.99. And here's the other thing with that covers the interest or any interest you would have paid. So you're not paying interest on the money if you do the other payment options like Klarna or Afterpay or any of that stuff, because we've reduced it to cover those interest fees. So this is a great option for you. So you're not going to have to worry about any of that. We've covered the interest. So you're going to just be able to pay for this and get going and get started. And let me be truthful. Once you do the first deal, you're going to take all your money off the table anyway. Once you close that first deal and you see that first check, your money is going to get paid back and you're going to be working with your profits. That's how I did my business. That's how me and Aisha did our business. That's how we show everybody to do their business. Once you set this up and get your first deal done, then you're going to be working off of profits and not just your money out of your pocket. So don't worry about it if I can't continue to do this kind of thing. Once you do the first deal, everything will fall in line and make sense. Okay. All right, guys, have you gotten value out of this? Is everybody that wants to sign up, have you gotten the link to sign up? I put the link in the chat. Again, I put it one more time in case you need it. If you want to do the no money down and you want to do the financing, just do the Klarna program or the Afterpay. Rachel, yes, I will get you a replay. Rachel, I'll send it to you tomorrow. But here's the thing. If you're interested in this, this is a find and fund program. Sign up tonight. You get the bonus of getting a one-on-one call with me. You sign up, you can do it with no credit financing. I'm sorry. Where you can do Klarna or Afterpay. When you click on the link, it says other payment options. You can click on Klarna or Afterpay. If you sign up tonight, then you will get along with the private lender bonus, along with the advanced deal negotiation process. We'll show you how to get money. We'll show you some very cool stuff. I don't want to say too much, but we'll show you how to make even more money on a deal. And we'll also set you up with Land Trust X and get you set up with that program so you can sell your property immediately. You don't have to worry about selling it, because I know some of you are going to say, well, Art, I'm worried about selling the house. What if I can't sell it? Afterpay won't take me to the next step. Afterpay should be pretty straightforward. I will try it on a cell phone and see if that works. But Afterpay should be, once you're in it, it's pretty straightforward. Unless there's something that you didn't fill out. Go back and scroll up and see if there's something you didn't fill out. Usually it'll say, hey, you didn't fill this part out. But other than that, you should be able to do this pretty easily. Okay. All right, guys. Any more questions for me about the process or about what we're doing? Is anything I need to answer or get you guys going? Because I want you to get started in this. Like I said, you'll get the benefit of the one-on-one call with me. And trust me, on the one-on-one call, I will talk to you directly about your situation and what's going on. And when I do, every obstacle that you have, I don't have enough money to buy a property. I don't have the credit to buy a property. I don't have the email support, and then we'll kind of help you with it. We'll help you with all of that. Okay, Trinita, no problem. Klarna is not allowing me. Rosetta said the same. Klarna is not allowing me to select an option. It should have a next. Let me go and look, because I want to see what you guys are seeing. So give me 1 second. Let me see if I can pull it up. Hold on 1 second, guys. I'm going to help you get through this. Hold on. So we're going to see if we can get you guys set up, because I want you to get into this tonight so that you can get access to everything. Where's my screens? Oh, I can't get off the screen. There are many options on Klarna, but no rollover. So, okay, down at the bottom, let me see if I can pull it up. Give me 1 second. Because down at the bottom, it should have a next or a submit button. I can't look at it and tell you guys without. Listen, if you're having a problem, send an email to support. And as soon as I'm going to send the email. That's the email. Send an email there. And if you're trying to get in and you can't get in, let me know, and I'll have somebody reach out and we'll get you set up before tonight is done, so you can still get all the access to everything. Okay. So if you're trying to get in and you can't, it should say down at the bottom, it should say no other payment options. You have to scroll down. It should be after you fill out your name, you should see a little payment options or other payment options, or you should see a list, and it'll have like Klarna, Afterpay. It might have PayPal or Cash App and stuff like that. And you'll see it. If you don't see Klarna or Afterpay, to the right, there's usually a little button you can click on, and that will drop down a menu, and you'll see Klarna in that menu, because sometimes, depending on what you're using it on, you don't see it. If you cannot get in and you're trying to get in tonight, email us, and we'll have somebody reach out to you tonight to get you signed up so you can get on. Okay? All right, guys, if there are no other questions, anybody got any other questions for me on this and how this works and what you're going to be doing? If it's too hard for you, if you think, I don't know if I can do this, trust me, when we get on a call, I am going to blow your mind. I'm going to blow your mind, because I'm going to show you how this is completely possible, and it's not even that hard. You just have to follow the steps, and don't try to overthink it. That is one of the biggest flaws, overthinking it. Follow the process, and you'll be successful. Okay? All right, I'm going to send you guys the replay of this. If you're signing up tonight and you want the bonuses, then use the link. If you cannot get in through the link, then simply email our team. I'm going to put that in the conversation. I'm going to put that in the chat, so you all can email us, and we will work with you to get you set up for tonight. Okay. All right, guys. If there are no other questions, let me check. Oh, there might be some other questions I didn't check the other chat. Let me see. Okay, no other. I don't see any other questions. Well, I see some, but okay. So if that's all we've got, guys, I'm going to cut it off now. I'm going to give you the link one last time. If you haven't already, either sign up or email us, and we'll get you signed up tonight. And I will see you guys in the group, Finding Fun. We'll get going and we'll get you started. All right. To everybody else, happy hunting. See you guys later. Bye-bye.